Telefonica is one of the world's biggest players in the telecoms industry, and Latin America is a big part of that business. Jose Maria Alvarez Payete Lopez is the chairman and CEO of Telefonica Latino America. Welcome to INSEAD Knowledge. How big is Latin America? How important is it to you, both as a source of innovation and as a customer base?
First of all, in terms of size, out of the 280 million customers that we have worldwide, roughly 180 million customers are in Latin America. So more than 2/3 of our customer base is in Latin America, and it's growing double digit. So it's a very significant source of not only revenues, but of ideas, of relationship, of point of contact with customers, and as an industry trendsetter, Latin America is providing us with significant amount of insight. In terms of inspiration, or in terms of the first source is talent. There is a significant amount of talent that we are exporting from Latin America to the remainder parts of Telefonica. In fact, as an example, here in Spain, my colleague, the person that is running Telefonica in Spain, is an Argentinian that used to work for us. The lady that is running all the telecommunication networks of Telefonica in Germany is an Argentinian lady, an engineer. And the former marketing person here in Spain was a Brazilian. So there are a significant amount of Latin American talent that we have been exporting from Latin America to the remainder parts of Telefonica. And in terms of inspiration, new businesses, ideas, or new trends that we are detecting in the region, it's becoming one of, if not the most relevant part of source of new projects and ideas for the group. In fact, Latin America, in the last 10 years, has created a middle class of more than, the total amount is for roughly 300 and something million people, but in the last 10 years, 200 million people step out of poverty into the middle class in Latin America. This is 200 million people is like adding France, Germany, and Italy together. So this is the kind of trends that we are detecting, the kinds of market that we need to serve, the kind of new products and services that we need to attend and to design, because those markets are different somehow of the Spanish market or the UK market, and therefore it's a continuous source of challenges or need to adapt. And therefore, for us, being in Latin America forces us to become a very dynamic company, because we cannot afford to lag behind.
So how do you address these markets? How do you stay on top of all of this?
First of all, we have, for me, at least, is the one of, if not the most talented team in the region. I mean, we have roughly 120,000 people working for Telefonica in Latin America, and the talent that we have been able to detect in Latin America is very attractive, very attractive. So we have very powerful local teams. And cross-fertilization, I mean, the fact that we have been able to mix the different units of Telefonica, and therefore you will find Brazilians in Mexico, or you will find Peruvians in Brazil, or Chileans in Argentina, or Argentinians in Venezuela. So the fact that we have been able to create I would say, a mix of talent, and therefore an open platform where the most talented people is offered the best places in the region, has helped us to catch up and to be able to match the position that we have in the region.
You must be spending a lot in Latin America. Is this part of the business accretive to the bottom line? Are you making money on this?
The kind of commitment that we have as Telefonica in Latin America is just unparalleled, and therefore, and here I can say that there is the most significant commitment in Latin America. We have been investing in Latin America roughly $130 billion in the last 25 years. There is nobody else from no nationality, from no other sector, nor American, nor European, that has been investing more than us in Latin America in the last 25 years. So the commitment is huge. Telecommunication is a capital-intensive sector, and therefore it's not just the money that we have invested, but we keep investing in CapEx almost on a yearly basis. The average CapEx over revenues ratio that we are handling is in the neighborhood of 15%. So every year we reinvest 15% of the revenues just in CapEx, and on top of that we have the OpEx that we also invest yearly. So yes, it's a continuous effort of updating and committing, but thanks to the bet that we did in Latin America 25 years ago, Telefonica is today the kind of company that it is. Because I mean, if we have just remained in Spain, there is no way we could have become what we are today.
Who's your competition in Latin America? You had all the big players at one time. France Telecom?
No, France Telecom, in fact, stepped out of Latin America in 2003, 2004, at the time of the crisis. I mean, a lot of people, and Verizon stepped out, AT&T stepped out, Bell South stepped out. So there is a lot of people that were present in the region, but in the bad times, they abandoned. They were replaced by a very, very strong competitor, which is América Móviles, regional one, who acquired a significant amount of the assets that the other was selling. We acquired some of the others. And then we have another very strong competitor, which is aiming to become regional in Brazil, which is Oi. It's a Brazilian company. And then in every single country, or in every single sub-region, we have very strong competitors. In Central America, we have Millicom and Digitel. In Chile, we have Entel. In Argentina, we have Telecom Italia, who is still there. So we have very strong competition in every single country, and that has been changing for a while. Right now, 1/3 of the market in Latin America in terms of revenue, it's accounts for is for Telefonica. 1/3 is for América Móviles, and the remaining third is very split, so to say.
How would you describe the business climate in Latin America? You make it sound very competitive. What's your strategy to succeed?
It's very dynamic, very intense, because you have two trends happening at the same time. The first trend is penetration of basic services in terms of selling just pure voice. I mean, and the region is already at 100% penetration over human population. So it has been catching up very rapidly in the last 3 to 4 years. But on top of this penetration of basic products like voice, basically on mobile, you have the broadband literally exploding, both wireline and wireless broadband. You have TV services as well being massified in the region, and you have the new products and services becoming very relevant and very dynamic: cloud computing, security, e-health, video. So you have the three trends, the three waves of growth happening simultaneously in Latin America, and that forces us to be very dynamic, very competitive, because competition is very high.
Let me end by asking you about the report Innova Latino. What did you learn? Was it worth it to Telefonica to be involved?
Answering straightforward, it was very worth it for us. Why? Because we have been involved in Latin America for 25 years. Latin America has been the eternal promise for a long, long while. In the middle of this huge crisis that we are all suffering, Latin America is stepping out of the crisis much stronger than before, because they never have exposure to the toxic assets in the financial services, and they did their homework. So basically, Latin America is growing very much, and in our sector is the fastest growing region on earth. So we need to be prepared to serve this growth and to make sure that we do not become a bottleneck for that. But at the same time, we need to have an eye on the innovation trends that are happening worldwide. Because again, technology is evolving so rapidly, and in fact it has never evolved as rapidly in the history of the humankind as it is evolving right now, doing the right proportions or the right comparisons. And therefore, we foresee from Telefonica, we foresee an explosion of new products and services, a jump ahead, a jump up, a leapfrog in technology that we need to make sure that happens at the same time in Latin America than in the remainder part of the world. We don't want Latin America or the Latin-speaking world to drag behind the English-speaking world, so to say. And we were concerned because most of the most talented people of Latin America in terms of innovation were migrating to the US. The co-founder of Facebook is Brazilian. 30% of the games that are being sold by iPhone or iPad are being developed in Argentina. The designer of Kinect, the new technology for the Xbox for Microsoft, is a Brazilian. But they have been forced to migrate or to work for US-based companies. So we want all the innovation of Latin America to stay in Latin America, to develop in Latin America, not necessarily being companies 100% owned by Telefonica. But if the sector develops, Telefonica will develop accordingly. So we need the innovation to stay in Latin America. And that's why the survey is part of a chain. It's a part of a chain of events that we want to be produced in order to make sure that we detect innovation, that we foster innovation, that constituencies in Latin America, apart from Telefonica, foster innovation, invest in innovation, and therefore innovation remains in Latin America.
Thank you very much for being with us on INSEAD Knowledge.
Thank you very much for the survey and for all the support. Thank you.